You can't see me. It's loading preview. I'm going live. Go for it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, you can't see
to
me.
the one and only broadcasting station brought to you live. We are yours truly, Matt and Bry, and we are collectively the Sibs Cast. Sibs Cast. Oh, Brian, won't you get me on this? We are who?
The Sibs Cast.
Thank you, sir. And
That's
today
who
we're
we
going to be
are.
discussing with you the topic of stress. And how do you respond and how do you treat? So let's start it off with you, Brian. Have you recently undergone stress lately?
Um, Currently in my life, I am surrounded by a lot of stress. So,
Man,
I that's life.
I had the worst migraine today. I couldn't kick it. It didn't matter how many Advil I took, how much water I drank, how much slept I got, how much sleep, excuse me. Went out, got a pizza, saw an old friend. I just, it's still there. It's still sitting there right in the corner of my eyeballs, just like pounding at my head. That's stressful, man. It's tough. It's hard.
Yeah. So where do you think your stress is coming from?
I really, you know, I think that it's sinuses, to be honest with you. This feels like a sinus migraine.
Mm.
I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it is pollen season and there's so many things falling in the air right now. And I was living in a different state for about 5 years. So the pollen there is different than here. So this is just my body acclimating to the new different types of trees and the temperature and this and that. I feel like it's just a natural transformation into an adjustment period migraine, which I really hope it is. Because if these keep happening, Brian, I don't know. I can't take much more of it. But what's going on with you, man? Why are you so down and about?
Well, um, work. You got to get through the day. You got to get working. There's always going to be stressful periods. But also, my stepson is very ill. So that is just constantly on my mind. And it brings a lot of stress into my life. And so, one of the things that I think is really important with stress is having a great support system. So, you really want to have people in your life that you can turn to, people in your life that will help you out, will listen to you, will give you advice. Sometimes even just a shoulder to cry on, is really really helpful.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, sir. Um, so if you want to get into, you mentioned that your stepson, he's not doing well. God bless him. I hope everything, comes through for him all right. But for any people out there who are also kind of going through the same thing, what kind of steps do you take um, for yourself to be as supportive and to look as positively as you can in this unfortunate situation?
Well, there's a couple different things that I do. In the short term, breathing I think is really important. If you find yourself in a really stressful situation, definitely I focus on my breathing. And you just shaking your head and playing guitar like that seems like you're not paying attention. So
Brother, I'm listening.
I know
No,
you're
I'm listening.
listening, but I'm
I'm
just
I'm
saying it
I'm,
looks like you're not
I'm
paying attention.
projecting your words through my guitar.
Okay,
So I'm feeding your emotion that you're feeding me through the sound of the music. Does that make sense?
sure.
I mean, are you okay with that? I can put it down if you want.
No, it just looks like if I was
Well,
watching this that you weren't really paying attention.
no, but I am, and I'm kind of I'm trying to relay what you're saying through the sound of the music. It might be a little too much for right now, and I'll put it down though. Sorry.
Quite alright. I don't know. Just something we could discuss or think about for the future.
Absolutely. But yeah, no. So that's oh man. Well, as long as you get the breathing thing down, the breathing thing is the most important. I find that breathing really helps too, but I like to stretch. Nothing like waking up and stretching it out real quick. And just getting the bones all loose and limber, getting ready for the day.
Mm.
Um,
So when you get one of these headaches,
yeah,
how does that really affect your demeanor or your day?
it affects my attitude 100%.
Mm.
Um, it affects the way my reaction time. It I really don't have much of one, and it puts a damper on everything because I'm very light sensitive. I can't go near light, look at light, feel light. It's just a constant. I don't know. It's just like a constant pulsation of the brain reminding you that hey, we're hurting right now. Can you give us something we need? And you try to do everything that you can think of, and it just doesn't work. So,
Right. And the bright lights of a kitchen, probably don't help
well, no,
that
I didn't work
situation at
today,
all.
so fortunately, which is why we're doing this on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, because tomorrow we have a really busy day at work, and I have to be there probably till about 11. So, yeah, the bright lights of the kitchen. No, actually, are very lucky. We have an open door kitchen, so our kitchen door is pretty much open. We always have constantly fresh air blowing through the kitchen. It's nice. It's not like you're trapped in a little box on the inside in the heart of a building.
Right.
It's
No windows.
yeah, yeah. We have a
Dungeon
window
style.
in the kitchen. We're
Oh, that's
good.
nice. That's really
We have
nice.
a window overlooking the golf course and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like a kitchen to me, and it's a very communal place for everybody that works there. Everybody's very comfortable in the environment, and it's a good thing.
All right, excellent. Another technique that I wanted to talk about, and this, you could do it anywhere, but it definitely requires a bit more concentration. And I would like to do it more. Is meditate. Some real good deep meditation. Kind of just trying to let go of everything. Even just focusing on like one part of your body or one muscle group where you can just try to release that tension and just go through your body systematically. Releasing that tension,
Yeah.
I think would real.
The most tension I hold is in my neck,
Yeah,
right in the back neck. I always feel it, and I know that it's just something that if I saw a masseuse all the time, I'd be fine.
right.
But I mean, is that practical? No, it's not. But my neck holds, oh my gosh, it's just so much tension. And I'd love for it to just be all loose and limber and free and happy. But it's just not that easy. And if it is that easy, please call us, let us know. We're looking for answers. We want to release all the stress that we have in our lives right now, and we kind of need the help from the people. So um, send us an email. We're thesibscast@gmail.com, and it's noted on our screen there, isn't it, Brian? I don't see it, but
Yep, it
might be.
is.
Yep. So email us at thesibscast@gmail.com or give us a call. We'll be happy to take your phone call right now live. And
The number is 847 231 2121. And this is for people who might be listening later, not live, that want to call and leave a message or text and leave a question or story that might be on the air.
I can't wait to hear some of those. I bet you some people have some really interesting stories out there.
Yeah, so we did I did pick a question for us. I don't know if we want to get in it now or later.
I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Sure.
Um, I didn't. I blocked out the name and everything, but Johnny said, "Hello, I just turned 21. What is a good drink for me to try tonight at the bar?" So first off, happy birthday!
Happy
Congrats
birthday,
on
Johnny.
turning 21. That's a great question. And
Yeah.
Matt, what do you got for suggestions?
The first drink I ordered when I turned 21 and went to the bar was the Grateful Dead.
Oof, you would.
I got the Grateful Dead.
What's in that?
I I think we have to Google it
All
because
right.
I don't even know. It's a very blue. It's a tie dye drink, but it's layered. It's layered with flavor. It's beautiful. If we could post an image of it on our live show right now, just to kind of show the audience, like this is the drink you order when you are 21. And trust me,
So,
it's no birthday cake shot, buddy. No birthday cake shot. And then get yourself a shot of Jameson and a nice cold beer, and you'll be fine.
yeah, I think my first drink. Well, first I'll tell us about the Grateful Dead. It is 1 ounce tequila, 1 ounce vodka, 1 ounce light rum, 1 ounce gin, 1 ounce raspberry liquor.
What?
Wow, so that is a lot.
Oh yeah,
I'm posting
it's
it on the screen right now. I don't know if I can
it's
make that.
really good.
Can't make that any bigger. How's that look? Putting it over Matt's head. I'm using the snipping tool.
Look at
So it's
that.
got like the different colors. It goes up to a
Look
blue.
at that.
Looks delicious.
Yeah.
So I think I did Jack and Coke.
Okay.
Classic whiskey. Now, here's a side note, and you'll come to find this out. You probably drank before you're 21, but going to the bar, great. Different liquors will affect people differently. Like some people drink whiskey and they're mean, but I'm like super happy drunk on whiskey. I can't really do vodka anymore because of an experience in college. Tequila essentially takes away all my inhibitions. Pretty much will do anything while drinking tequila. So
Duly noted.
yeah, how does alcohol affect you, Matt?
Well, this is going to be probably about a 3 minute conversation. Let's get on the list. If I had any drink of choice every day for the rest of my life, it would be gin and tonic. I think that gin and tonic with a splash of lime is one of the most delicious citrusy, spritzy beverages that you can get. Gin is based off of juniper berries. It's a very floral liqueur. And that seems to be the happiest, nostalgic affecting liquor that I drink. Currently, for caloric reasons, I'm drinking vodka, Tito's, only
Ooh,
because less sugar, less this, less that.
Tito's is
Um,
great.
yeah,
I
I
don't do
really enjoy
vodka, but
Tito's. Um, Tito's over some, shaken with some ice and just really shake the hell out of it. Get some really nice small ice crystals, and it's just like a nice little vodka slushy. You throw it back, it's good. Whiskey, it has its purpose and it has its place. It gets you where you need to go if you need to get there fast, but it's
yeah,
not the best choice for a good and happy environment. But it seems to have a different effect on you, so that's very good.
yeah.
Tequila, I can drink like water. I think tequila is it. It really, I don't know. It's so natural. It's the agave nectar and the reduction of that from the cacti, and it's just. I think it's a beautiful, very flavorful liqueur. Flavored liqueurs, I think I'm all set. I'll never own a bottle of cherry Bacardi, but when it comes down to rum,
Are you saying that because there's my basement wall is lined with those?
maybe, maybe. But my favorite rum is Malibu, and that's Malibu makes the perfect summer beverage.
Mm. Ooh, speaking of Malibu, uh,
Spice
shot
time.
a shot Johnny should try tonight is one of my favorites. Surfers on Acid. It is Malibu, Jägermeister, and a little bit of pineapple juice. Absolutely delicious.
That sounds wonderful.
It really, really is. Actually, just talking about it makes me want one really bad. So
Wow.
we're gonna have to go to
Wait,
the bar and get some.
you really want a surfer on acid, or you
Yes,
really want the shot?
the shot, definitely the shot.
Oh boy. So I ran into an old family friend. I'd consider him family tonight. It
He was
was
he was in the family for a while.
yeah, he's still there. He's still there, and no, it was really great seeing him. It's probably one of the best hugs I've had in a long time.
Oh, he is a good hugger.
Great hugger, great hugger. He did his high school football coaching thing. He he's doing really well, doing really well. So
So
I'm
speaking
really
of
happy.
that,
Yeah, really happy to hear that. Really happy to see him, and hopefully soon we can get him on the podcast and let him be a part of this, and be a part of the Sibs Cast family. I think that'd be really cool, and the audience would really appreciate his voice.
yeah, I was just gonna essentially say that he might have a segment. He's a real sports guy, really into the sports balls, and he'll be doing probably a small segment weekly. Yeah, we're still talking to him. What he wants to be involved with. There's really no pressure, but he might give a little sports update every week for all
Yeah,
you sports fanatics
really, really
out there.
knowledge.
You'll
Yeah,
probably really enjoy that. So we can look forward to that possibly in the next coming up weeks.
absolutely. And it's been nothing but rain, man. All I've been seeing is rain outside. We've had one really beautiful day.
One good day. That's it.
It's been rainy. It's been miserable. Just kind of like the head hanging low kind of weather. But it's almost like we're living in Portland, but
Uh,
we're not.
or Seattle or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they say.
the
Well,
suicide rates in Seattle are ridiculous. Sorry, didn't mean to jump in there.
yeah, no, that's fine. I was gonna say April is when we're supposed to get the rain because they bring Mayflowers, and then you know what Mayflowers bring?
June bugs.
Pilgrims. Ah, dad joke. Hashtag dad joke of the week.
That is so funny.
It's a good one. Classic.
Yeah.
But anyway, it shouldn't really be raining.
What's really cool?
What?
We have pilgrims in our background, and we also have Indians in our heritage. Our great, great, great grandfather, John Spencer, was the founder of a town in the state we live in. And on the other side of our heritage, our great, great, great grandfather was an Indian chief for the Pequots. So we have Pilgrim blood, and we also have Native American blood. Unfortunately, through the lineage of what happened through the system of our family, we're now down to 4% Native American. But the lineage is still there, and we carry the Native American characteristics. So I think that it's interesting to think that our bloodline runs true for the founders, the original founders, the Native Americans of the Americas, and the people who came in 1776 across the big pond on a boat. So yeah, John Spencer came across on one of the boats. I'm not sure if it was the Mayflower. I think it was the Santa Maria, actually, from what I read, from what our auntie had sent us. He floated across on the Santa Maria. He came to New England, and he founded his own town. But unfortunately, through the vices of life, I'm pretty sure he lost it through gambling. He lost an entire town gambling. Womp womp
We'll have
womp.
to get Auntie Heather on the show
And then
to really school us in the
then
background.
3 weeks later, guess what? He died of the influenza. I mean, I think that it would be great to have her come on here and discuss those kinds of things because it'd be really interesting to kind of share with the audience, where we come from, who we are, and um, why we're so grounded here in this state. Why is the state we live in so wonderful? The state we live in is wonderful for one reason, because it's extremely convenient.
Yes.
Extremely convenient.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like one or two roads that takes you to everywhere. No, we got a spider web of roads that can take you to anywhere and anywhere you want to go in under 30 minutes. Some people have to drive 30 minutes just to get to the highway, and then they got to drive another hour to get to work. That's not good.
No, that's just eating your day. Your time is precious.
Time is money. So I went and bought a Rolex, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so stress to me. I don't know. I feel like when I really get stressed out when things are being micromanaged.
Right. Where you don't have any freedom.
Correct. I do not like micromanagement. I feel like there should be a little more trust, and there should be a little more communication as to what the expectations are, as to what the expectations to be set are, and then micromanagement should be obsolete. And if they can't meet the standards through the communication, then you need to pull them aside and talk to them and say, "Hey, listen, this is what we talked about. I'd really appreciate it further if you were to do it the way that I showed you, rather than embarrassment or
Right. Being called out in front of everybody.
yes. That does not increase productivity
No. If anything, I
at
feel like
all.
it breaks morale. It
It
puts you
is
in a bad
definitely a morale
mood, and
breaker.
then it's your work is suffering the rest of the day.
Yeah, I don't like doing things twice. I'd much rather just do it once and get it over with than have to go back and redo it. Um, Even though the first way was completely fine, if not better than the way that it was shown to me to do the next time. Um, my favorite thing to relieve stress is mow the lawn, actually.
Oh, that's a great point that I did not bring up earlier. Stress relieving activities.
Yes.
So mowing the lawn is kind of like your zen.
Put some music on, start that thing up, and just go to town. Make sure the lines are perfect.
Yeah, excellent. You know what? I did a little research on it. Do you know what a lot of people, adults, find as a great stress reliever? Adult coloring books.
No kidding.
Yeah, because they can kind of just turn off their brain. Just pick a color, go to town, and you don't have to do a lot of thinking, and it just they can focus on something. So if anybody out there is stressed and is looking for an activity, try adults coloring books.
Well, knowing me, I might be going for the kids' coloring books.
Yeah, staying in the lines is tough.
Oh man, they are difficult. And picking colors, that's the even toughest part. I wanted to tell me the color I need to use.
Exactly. So Matt,
Yes, sir.
we're not young, but we're not old.
No, not nearly or hardly.
So what? All right. So there's a young generation coming up that probably
Generation X.
have not probably watched a lot of movies and TV shows, that we grew up on. What would you suggest to them as a movie or TV show that they like have to watch? Like here's one like you probably didn't watch it, but you have to watch it because it's such a classic.
Goodwill Hunting.
Oof.
for one.
Ooh.
I think
Robin
that
Williams.
I
Ugh.
think that Good Will Hunting changed my mindset on um, a lot of things. Actually, you really have to. Sometimes you have a special gift. Everybody is born with a special gift. You just have to be able to act on it when you realize what your gift is. And you will never be disappointed with your success because you'll always be striving for a goal. My gift is cooking. And I knew it at a very young age and I ran with it. And I saw that movie and it just made me decide, hey, in order for me to be successful in this world, I need to find something that I'm good at and not just do the 9 to 5 grind and just, run with it. And it it worked really well for me in the corporate environment and I got really far at a very fast pace. Um, Sometimes you need to take a little step back and reevaluate and try to go into more of a creative direction, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. But Goodwill Hunting, The Goonies.
Oh, that was gonna be one of mine.
I mean,
The
you never
Goonies
want to lose your imagination,
is a
right?
must.
Your imagination is so important with everything you do, with everything you interact with the way you think, the way you respond. With management, if you don't have an imagination, you cannot be a manager because you can't communicate to people the way that you have to. So, your imagination is clutch for adulthood, for childhood, for livelihood.
Yeah,
Um,
because even you could just bring your imagination, creatively into a project or solve a puzzle or a problem. A puzzle, same thing. Um, at work, a different way. Maybe someone who's, a real straight shooter wouldn't think, kind of outside the box or using their imagination or afraid to try different things. So,
Correct.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but one thing did stand out to me that is absolutely mind blowing. Um, do you remember the cartoon Arthur?
Yeah.
They still have new episodes every week.
What?
That has
No.
got to be the longest running kids cartoon ever.
Let me tell you a quick story. I
He never
know.
grows up.
Well, yeah, because then he'd be our age because he was young when it was on. But I know how to spell aardvark because of that show.
How do you spell it, Brian?
Aardvark. Aardvark. He did like a little song, and it was so funny because he's in the spelling bee, and he just studied that one word, and he goes up, and they just ask him the one word, so then he gets put in the spelling bee because he knew how to spell it. Absolutely
That's amazing.
hilarious. I don't know why that episode stuck with me for so long, but Aardvark,
New episodes
aardvark.
every week.
Wow, maybe I'll get
PBS. I'd
the
invest in it.
boys on it. I'll get the boys into it.
I think you should because it's amazing, man. He's still going.
So I think X Files would be a great show. I would suggest to a younger generation who are coming up. I think it's timeless. It tells a great story, and I just think it was a really really well done show.
Yeah. Good old David. Good old David. David Duchovny.
Yeah,
They had the movie that came out in like the early 2000s. Do you remember that?
yeah. It wasn't that good, was it? If I
It,
remember correctly.
no, it was
Yeah,
kind of a bummer. Then
yeah.
right after the movie came out, they stopped it. And then recently in 2018, they had a one season X Files reunion.
How did that? I never watched that. How did that do?
It was amazing.
Was it?
Amazing.
Oh, all right.
Like, it was just like the old times being brought to now. And I don't know, it was 8 episodes or 9 episodes, but just, being able to watch them do their thing again and just being engaged and, it's very alien oriented and, obviously,
Of
but
course.
the sci-fi,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still fantastic to see Californication, David Duchovny go back to
Right.
that, and it was awesome, man.
Mulder and Scully.
Yeah,
Classic. We did get a text from a viewer, and
no way.
she said, this is going back to stress, that she enjoys stretching and yoga. Yoga is a really great stress reliever. So,
I'd really enjoy yoga too if I was about 60 pounds lighter.
well, all right, so this is going to be slightly embarrassing. You know what I fear the most? I'm doing one of those downward warrior poses, and I just rip the biggest fart, biggest loudest fart, and just everybody like looks at me, and I'll just die of embarrassment. They need to have a class, and I brought this up where it's just like big dudes who just like fart at yoga, because I would go to that class because they're expecting, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so like when I rip one, it's not a big deal. It's part of the class. So if someone wants to do fat guy farting yoga, sign me up. I'm in. But until that happens, I'm not going there and smelling half the class out. So
That's funny.
yeah, that's my yoga fear.
Yeah, my biggest yoga fear is I show up in my spandex and they rip. Spandex that rips, only with me.
Right. All right. Let me see. Do we have...
That was a good one though, Bry.
Yeah, excellent. Like getting the audience
What was your name?
participating. Um, Lisa. Lisa was her name. So
Oh, good.
definitely, thank you, Lisa, for that.
Question.
For your stress relievers, that's great. So our lines are still open. We're taking them live.
We are
847-231-2121. And we're having fun.
fun like a bun in the sun, hun.
All right, Matt. So you're on this team,
Yep.
and you are part of the Mars space exploration. You were given the job of coming up with the first sentence said on Mars. You can even take a minute to think about it. What would be your first sentence that would be said on Mars? You're not the astronaut. You just tell them to say it.
I got it.
What do you got?
I wonder how far I can hit a driver on this planet.
That would be the first. That would go down in the history books.
Yep.
Golf. Talking
Yep.
about golf.
Hitting a driver on Mars. How far can you hit a driver on Mars?
Well, I think it's half. And throwback to last week, half gravity of Earth. So,
In Dragon Ball Z, that would be called a.
well, the hyperbolic chamber increases the gravity, so this would reduce it, almost like you're in space. So I feel like golf courses would have to be like double in size. So your par threes would be like 400 yards. Your par fives would be like 1,000 plus.
So you could hit a driver approximately 600 yards?
Yeah, you get a hold of it. You're going 600 yardos.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a driving contest. Would be really fun, I think.
Especially with the bigger guys that can hit it 400 now.
Yeah.
You could probably crank it over 1,000.
Move. Imagine driving over 1,000.
That would be if I were to spawn in Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys. That'd be sick, Julian.
Bubbles. All right, if I had to respond from crap, I forgot his name. Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy. Nice.
Yep.
I watch that show all the time. Now I can't think of his name. Andy Sandberg.
Yep.
Whatever his character is. All right, no new texts yet. But that's great. We're getting audience participation. Wonderful.
All about it. So you never mentioned what you would say on Mars, by the way.
Oh, see, I'd probably try to go like really, like we're going down in the history books.
Like
Something,
original JFK, like
yeah,
style
nothing,
speech.
probably nothing too crazy, but probably something like extinction is the rule, survival is the exception.
And only the paranoid survive.
And my runner up would be suck it, Neil.
Old Neil Armstrong.
NA. Out of here.
Hey man, Lance, they are done.
Yeah, both.
Live strong, my ass.
Both the Armstrongs. But I did watch that. There was a movie that recently came out. Who played him? The guy who looks like Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He's in like The Notebook. What's his name? Gosling. Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
He was in it. He did really well. It was definitely a different movie for him, but I found it still interesting. I like learning history that way.
Through movies?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Have you ever seen Pearl Harbor?
Ooh, classic.
What? The 2 disc? You need 2 discs to watch it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they have. Yeah, but you can fit anything on a Blu-ray now. If you had to go 2 Blu-rays, that would be insane.
Do you like watching live concerts?
I do once in a while, but you know what? I'm really intrigued about going into the future.
What's that?
VR live concerts.
Eh.
No,
Can you explain to the guests what you're talking about while I run downstairs real quick?
sure.
Because I think I have something to. I think that yeah.
You got to feed
Start.
me the iguana.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, go for it.
All right. So VR, virtual reality. I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but it's really amazing, and I think the technology is only going to get better. So, I mean, I've had ones where you slide your phone into like this little mask, but just like looking around and seeing everything, it feels so real. My friend Mark, who was on the podcast a couple episodes ago, and will be here next week, greatest web developer in the East Coast, will be on the podcast next week, barring any scheduling conflicts. He has the full setup at his house, and it's really, really amazing. But I think, I mean, you go to the concert, you feel the crowd, you feel the vibes. It's amazing, but I think VR will be like the next best thing because it'll put you right there. I mean, depending on where the cameras are, where they're recording for the VR, but they will put you like right in the show, and I just think it'd be so amazing. You know, I can't leave for the night. Blazy's upstairs sleeping, and I can't leave the house, but I want to go see, Jimmy Eat World. Just strap in, go to a concert, put on my headphones.
How much do the tickets cost?
Yeah, I mean, they got to be substantially cheaper. I just paid for like the experience. Maybe it's like $29.99. Better than paying $60 driving, going in traffic, paying $102 for a beer that's warm.
Yeah.
I'll order a T-shirt on Amazon and I'll get the full experience.
Hey man, whenever the first VR concert comes to life, I am ready.
I think we're close. And we'll all just go to Mark's house, and watch the concert at his house.
I'm ready. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, should be a real good time.
Quick question about that.
Yeah, of course.
What about seating? Can we get like front row, backstage? Will that be an option, or will we be stuck in the nosebleeds? Or
well, that's the best part because it wouldn't like it's wherever the VR cameras are is where you can go. You know what I mean? So if they have like a really good setup, you can like go mid row. You can go right on stage. It looks like you'd be thinking you're standing on stage right next to them as you're rocking out. You can walk up right to the drummer and just watch him, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, just freaking, rock out.
Either that or my favorite musician, Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
Uh, Great blues musician, one of the best that's ever lived. You're telling me that I'd be able to walk up next to him as he's playing
Yeah.
and just throw down, headbang, and just sing along with the songs.
Sing at the top of your lungs, as long as the neighbors don't mind. Rock
Wow.
out, like watch the sweat drop down his face.
Did I tell you I got kicked out of a Mumford and Sons concert for dancing?
No, that doesn't sound right.
I did.
How did that go down?
Well, I was dancing, and apparently it was a fire lane in the pit.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that existed.
Me neither. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's 2016, 2017. It was in the summer. So they kicked me out, and you know where my mind was when I got kicked out?
You were a little drunkachusetts.
No, yeah, a little drunkachusetts. But I said, I'm gonna find the tour bus.
Well,
And guess what I did?
found the tour bus.
And guess who I talked to for 5 minutes about one of my other favorite movies that people should watch because it's amazing.
What movie is that?
Whiplash. I talked to Marcus Mumford and the band about Whiplash for 5 minutes.
That's like a really nice story, and that
I got
brings up a
kicked out
great
of the
point.
concert.
Yeah.
I got kicked out.
So you lost the experience of the concert, but you gained that experience, which you couldn't do in VR, unless maybe they did have like a backstage pass that you could purchase. If they could kind of do like an
you know
interview
what?
style.
That kind of experience is unexpected. You don't really, not everybody goes to a concert expecting to meet the lead singer.
Yeah. So I know we segued a little into concerts. What would you say your favorite concert was, or concert experience? If you got to think about it, I'll tell you mine.
Remember that time me, you, Uncle Ron, and Dad went to Twin River to go see the Pink Floyd cover band?
Yes.
And that would probably be it. That chick that was singing, you know what I mean?
She was good. I loved all the props and everything they used for the songs.
Flawless.
It was really, really well done.
I thought that was like one of the most professional concerts for a cover band.
Yeah,
but
very, very well done.
But Joe Bonamassa at the PPAC, still, even though at the end of the show, I went to shake his hand, and he's pulled his hand back from mine. I don't hate him for it. I don't. Because when I was 14 years old, so we have this place in the city called Chan's. You know what Chan's is, Brian? Have you ever been?
I have not.
Chan's is a Chinese restaurant, and it's called the home of blues and jazz. So they have live concerts, and you get to eat Chinese food while you watch the live concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the best saxophonists in the world come through, some of the best blues musicians. And Joe played there when I was about 13, and one of my buddies took me there with his dad. His dad took us. And Joe played there when he was, 21, just getting going. And now he's selling out of, some of the Red Rocks and, all these big shows. Mm. So I went up and I met him at that time. And I was like, hey, Joe, you sounded really good. This is probably one of the most inspirational concerts that I've been to where I could eat Chinese food and listen to a musician. He was like, oh, nice, and he was very friendly, very happy to meet me. And then I went to go reintroduce myself to him to see if he remembered, and he didn't. But what do you expect,
Yeah, no, he probably meets a lot of people.
So many. I tried to say, hey, man, Chan's, remember at Chan's, Woonsocket. He didn't get it.
No. So my favorite concert experience was actually my first one. It was Saves the Day, who I was a huge fan of at the time. This was circa 2001. So Saves the Day opening. It was Green Day and then Blink 182. So my friend had a spare ticket for the pit. I didn't have to pay for the ticket. He drove. Super super cool, coolest kid, um, for doing that. So saves the days going. They're they're going, they're rocking out. I'm like three people away from the lead singer. I know like all the words to all the songs. Drummer throws the drumstick into the pit. I catch it. It was like totally like out of a movie. It was amazing, and everyone was grabbing for it and grabbing at it. So I stuck it up my shirt, and this this was a couple hour concert. So Green Day goes up, and I still have this stick up my shirt the entire concert. Like just one handed it. Blink comes on. They're dropping the confetti. They're dropping the ping pong balls.
Yeah.
Um, the drummer, he gets like strapped in. He starts like spinning while drumming. It was absolutely amazing. And then at the end of the concert, we're leaving, and a girl comes up to me, and she goes, "Oh, is that the drumstick from Blink 182?" And I said, "Yes." And she gave me a kiss just for lying to her. Really, I lied to a girl for a kiss. But it was like the most like surreal moment and surreal concert experience ever. And it was
Well,
my
you
first
you
one, so
reminded me of one more of mine.
the bar was set pretty high. So
Yeah, well, that's pretty amazing, actually. You got, dang, that's awesome.
yeah,
You ever hear of the Plain White Tees? Hey
yes,
there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000. All right, so that band,
yeah,
uh, we used to have a local radio station that would host a concert on a pier that overlooked the bay and right in the downtown area. And the Plain White Tees were headlining. There was a local band from the town that we're from, which you went to high school with, Arcade Fire.
yep,
Do you not know who I'm talking about?
yeah.
They changed their name to Arcade Fire. They were originally something else. I don't remember the original name. What was the name of their band, Bry?
Slick Willie.
That was it. Yes.
Oh,
So Slick Willie
hold on, I have something to show you. Well, keep talking, but
Slick Willie transformed into Arcade Fire, and they were also playing there. But you couldn't smoke. I was still smoking back then. I was 19, whatever. Um, so I had to walk out on the pier to have a cigarette. I had to leave the property, whatever. So I was just sitting there smoking a cigarette, and then a group of 5 guys walk up to me, and I got one of those free T-shirts that they give you, right? The radio station gives out free T-shirts,
yep,
this and
yep.
that, and I had the T-shirt like pulled through the top like it was a bikini kind of thing, and I had a T-shirt underneath. Start talking to this group of guys, and they're like, "Yeah, man, we're the Plain White Tees," and I'm like, "No kidding." And they were like, "You must be Mankini then, huh?" They called me Mankini, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's me. I'm Mankini. I'm Mankini." And I'm like, "Yeah, hey, can you please do me a huge favor? Can you give me a shout out when you play Hey There, Delilah? Say that Mankini is your real Delilah." And I went back to the concert, met up with the friends that I went with. I said, "You guys need to wait for this. I'm about to get a shout out from the Plain White Tees." And they were like, "Yeah, right, blah, 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 blah." And then sure enough, I fucking grabbed my buddy's girlfriend's hand. She grabbed his hand. I pulled them to the front to where they were. And they were all giving me dabs. "Mankini, Mankini, what's up, what's up?" So I got us right in the front, like no problem. They were like, "These guys are good, these guys are good." And then when they sang Hey There, Delilah, they were like, "This one goes out to our real Delilah, Mankini, and he's right here in the building." And I was just like, yes, man. It was just like higher than life. And then people were like, "Oh, you're Mankini? You're Mankini?" I'm like, "Yep, that's me."
Amazing.
Just
So
it's really awesome when you're able to be personable and you're able to talk to whoever as if they're, a normal person. Like if Taylor Swift ran into us, like how would you react if you ran into Taylor?
um,
Tay Tay.
a little fangirlish, but I'd probably keep my cool. But I'd be like, "You're like really amazing, and I think you're super cool." and invite me over to your house at Watch Hill.
Nah, man. I'm pretty sure I'd try to arrange for a cat date. Be like, yo, man, my cat needs to come and play around with your pussies. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's have a little cat date. Let's let the cats hang out. We have a cocktail. We overlook the ocean, hang out, go for a little swim. You know, friend stuff. The house is nice, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
oh, it's beautiful house.
I bet your little gray kitty would love to play over there. He got in a fight today.
Yeah, that's why we're not bringing him over to Taylor Swift's house and getting a fight with our cats, and then we'll get kicked out. We're banned. We're gonna be banned.
Yeah, he got in a fight. He got a little scratch over his eye. Like, what's his name from The Lion King?
Scar.
Yeah, he looks like him.
So we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
All right,
We're
let's
gonna
do it.
talk Game of Thrones.
I don't really have much to say, man.
All right, well, hit me with what you got, and I'll hit you with what I got.
Okay. I feel like this really isn't the last season.
I mean, it definitely feels rushed. I'll tell you that.
Um, I I wish that they would have a little more, rather than character highlights, which they seem to be going with. Just highlighting, highlighting, highlighting. It all seems to be highlights. I wish that they had a little more in-depth play-by-play with each character,
Yeah.
rather than being selective and being too extensive with some of the scenes that they have.
I see that.
You know, um, but at the same time, they're doing it because they know how they have to do it, and there was probably no other way to do it. And this is their last season. This is the contract's up, so they have to make it happen. How do they do it the best way possible? And I can't really think of a better way for them to have portrayed the last season. I think that they're doing as good as they can for what they had and what they were working with.
Mm.
I just wish that they could have made it a little more viewer friendly rather than just having one entire episode a war, one entire episode a party, one entire episode the prenup to another war, and then what's next? We're going to watch an episode with another war,
Well, it's the final episode next.
Is it going to be war party, war party, war party? I mean, yeah, the next episode is going to be a war against Cersei.
Well, spoiler alert: Cersei died.
Did she?
Yeah, she died. Her and you called out Jamie last week, and I really thought like his character arc, he was going to go there to make sure that Cersei died, but he actually went in there and
Made out with her.
they died together.
Yep.
Yeah, they got crushed by the Red Tower. I just think the Daenerys storyline, like the Mad Queen, is just so forced and so rushed. I don't love it. Little tidbit of information. D&D, the Double D's, the writers of the show, HBO offered them. They could have had a full 10-episode season, but they cut the last 2 seasons short because this is how they thought they wanted it. And I don't love the way it's ending. I don't love the character arcs and how they're coming out. I mean, I was definitely expecting some sort of, twist ending, definitely not like a fairy tale ending, but I just think just the characters are just acting really out of character for what they set us up for 6-7 seasons. They're just acting, completely out of character, and I find it frustrating.
I agree.
So
I agree.
next week we'll go into really more in depth with Mark on the show. I just definitely wanted to touch on it and just air out some frustrations I'm having.
Well, when we watch the final episode, we'll have the final conclusion of what we really feel. But as of right now, I'm not upset. I'm not frustrated because it's a show. It's a TV show. I can't be too engaged to attach. But we spent a lot of time watching it. We were
That's the
involved in
thing.
it, and I feel like the for what they built up, like you said, over the past 6 seasons or 7 seasons, it's just nowhere does this actually meet the criteria or the level of standards that they had back then. I think that
Exactly.
their standards
Exactly.
of the show were at a much higher level, and they just lost touch with that.
Right. Well, they had like the books as source material, and utilizing, leveraging the books for their writing and leveraging the books for their storytelling was is absolutely wonderful using George R. R. Martin's words. But them doing it on their own, I'm really really frustrated with how it's coming together.
They didn't do a good job.
No, no, this season just feels really rushed. I mean, if it was a full 10 episode season, and
Yeah,
I
we'd be a
think it
little
could have.
over halfway through. We'd be like, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right, a
But the
lot could
last
happen.
episode is next week
Yeah. So it's all like you have to close a lot of questions and a lot of storylines
in one episode.
in one episode.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not completely out, but I'm really interested to see how next week is going to happen.
Yeah, me as well. But yeah, don't put it past Bran.
Yeah, Brand. I mean, that's another thing. They built up his story so much, and he's pretty much useless all of season 8.
Completely. He was. What was he? He was a. He
Bait,
was.
bait for the Night King,
Yep. That's it.
and he said, he told him that the Night King had a dragon. That's really all he's done.
Yep. That's about it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's enough for that for now.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely come back to
I'd
that
like to
next
talk
week.
to you about sports.
All right.
What do you? You're a baseball guy, right?
Go Sox. Red
Okay.
Sox.
You ever play?
Did for a good portion of my childhood. I
Yeah.
played baseball, t-ball, all the way up. I tried out in high school, but I didn't try out till I was a senior. And even though I was very good, they didn't want to waste this season on me playing. They'd rather bring up a junior, train him all year. So senior year he'll be better. So I found that slightly frustrating, but I had a lot going on in my teenage years.
What was your
And
position?
it varied. Definitely, I did a little pitching, little league, third base. I had a pretty good arm, so I could always throw it right across first base, get him out.
Yeah, I was a first base guy. I was always comfortable with the glove and making the catch.
Yeah, that's important. You gotta catch anything coming at you. You gotta keep your foot in the
Absolutely.
bag.
I was good for it.
Pay attention to the runner. He turns
Yep.
left, you tag him. He turns right, he's safe. You
Yep.
know, it's a lot. So yeah,
Center field too. I love center field, just for the adrenaline of waiting in anticipation of waiting for that one ball to come your way. Just to make the catch or make the throw all the way to home plate.
oh yeah,
That's when you make a throw from center field to home plate and he tags him out. Oh, that is just such a great feeling.
ooh, what a just thinking about that hurt my shoulder. I haven't thrown like that in a long time.
Hey man, your son's growing up quick. You might be tossing balls with him soon. If not, I'll be scooting over, throwing, breaking in the old glove with him. Hey, I still get those Ninja Turtle gloves if you want to, get him going. We
Might
still
have
got one.
to get him one. Those were
No,
classics.
yeah, I'll bring one over for him if you want.
Yeah. I mean, he loves being outside, so we're definitely.
Well,
I hate that it's hasn't been nice weather because
I think that the Ninja Turtle glove. Do you want Donatello or Leonardo?
Donatello,
Got it.
my favorite.
All right,
retro.
you got it, man. Anything for Little Blaze.
Oh yeah, and so I know basketball. The Celtics are out now. I know it's championship or playoff time.
Hey, man, do you know what it was like being a fat kid playing basketball?
It's so much running. That and
No.
soccer.
Not if you master the art of hanging by the hoop and just doing layups all night.
Layups. Hey, points are points, But
Points are points. If you have a guaranteed layup, if you're good at just bouncing it off the back of the hoop, people in the South call it a goal. Do you call it a goal in basketball?
I think it's called a field
They-
goal.
No, they call it a
FG.
basketball goal.
No, I don't. I honestly don't think so. I thought it was like a basket.
I thought it was a hoop.
What, no, like you're talking about like when you shoot it in.
I'm talking about the entire physical thing.
Oh, that's called a basketball hoop. Yeah.
They call it a goal.
Really?
They call it a basketball goal. Yeah. Do you have any basketball goals? What?
Yeah, I want to hit more 3-pointers.
Yeah, that's my goal, right?
Oh, I found another Southern term. Instead of goosebumps, they call them chill bumps. You're like,
Oh,
ooh, I got the chill bumps.
yes. So check this one out. Instead of, the grocery carts,
Yeah,
just like getting a cart, whatever. Hey, get a cart for me.
yeah.
They call it a boogie.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Like
A little boogie.
serious, like in a serious tone, like not as a joke.
Hey, can you get the buggy? It's a buggy, a buggy.
A buggy.
Get that little buggy. We gotta load that buggy up with goods before we get home.
Oh man. I just not. We're not poking fun. It's just
I lived there for 5 years. I know what it's all about. It's fine.
yeah.
They're cool.
We're from
Y'all, I can't stand the word y'all. Oh my gosh.
Is it used heavily down there?
Hey y'all. What's going on, y'all? It's just like a descriptive word to define everybody. And, it's just like it's not very personable.
Right. Well, it's just. I mean, it's you all.
It's kind of like, my appearance is being made. I'm here. Look at me, y'all. Ew. Gross.
But to each their own. So if you out there are a yaller, do you do you?
Give us a holler. Give us a holler, y'allers. The ocean in the south is better than the ocean in the north.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that the ocean, well, they have sharks and stuff. There's
Yeah, so that's not good.
But their piers, the ocean just feels better. I don't know. I haven't been in the ocean up here in probably 7 years, but when I did go down there, we had a beach house on Oak Island, North Carolina. And wow. 3-story beach house. Unbelievable. And it was actually a reverse layout. So the kitchen was on the top floor, and the living room was on the top floor, and all the bedrooms were on the middle floor. Yeah, it was really cool.
Very interesting.
Very beautiful house.
So last week we talked about a podcast that I recently started listening to, and I mispronounced the name, and I do want to apologize. It's actually Trek by the Numbers, and I just called it Trek by Numbers. So it's.
How dare you?
I know. I'm very embarrassed. But I just want to say it's Trek by the Numbers. You can find them. I listen to them on Google Podcasts. I think that's my new podcast player. I'm really into it. And,
it's really efficient. I mean, they have everything that you need.
Yeah, now I figured out how to subscribe, and they have the continue playing section, and it reminds me when the new episode's downloaded. So I got a couple of them on the subscribe, and Trek by the Numbers is one of them. Again, really, really wonderful podcast to check out.
Hey, you know what I did?
What'd you do?
You know that I don't have a cell phone, right?
Yeah, when are we fixing that?
I'm not. I actually figured out a loophole.
Oh, okay.
So I connect to Wi-Fi and I'm good. I can connect to anybody that I need. But if I ever need to call anybody, I made a sign that says, "Can I use your cell phone?" And I just hold it above my head. And then like 4 people just hand me their cell phones for me to use to call anybody I need.
Like, where are you when you're doing this?
At a gas station, in the mall. Pulled over on the side of the road because I ran out of gas.
Yeah, but why don't you just get a cell phone? Why don't you
Why
just
would you
activate?
when everybody's so willing to what? When everybody's so willing to let me use theirs?
Because you'll be in a situation where you're at
That's why I have
night.
the sign and
Yeah,
I
but
just hold it
at
up.
night, dark road, back roads, no one's
I got
driving by.
flashlights that I can flash on it.
Yeah, but no one's coming by. You're not gonna walk up to someone's house and use their phone because that's how like every serial killer movie starts ever.
I don't think that I'd be worried about it. But you're right. Maybe I should start looking into that and maybe making something happen with this guy right here. Look at it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Whoa.
I got it. I got a nice one. It's a Galaxy S8 Plus. It's just I don't feel like paying for the data. I really don't.
Well, I'm sure there's like tons of different plans out there that you can get on.
I own it. It's mine.
Yeah, so that should be super easy. You just pay
And then
like
I got a backup one. I got another S8 too.
do you?
Yeah, I got two.
That seems excessive.
The first one though only charges on the wireless charger. The bottom thing broke.
Oh. There's like Straight Talk or something where you just pay like super cheap monthly,
Nah.
get decent service.
All I'm looking for is, something where I can make a phone call every once in a while. Maybe it'll happen, but I'll figure it out. I just don't want the government tracking me.
Well, it's gonna take a little more than that. But
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's for another day.
Yeah, I think so. Pets. What do you got for pets? Let's talk about pets, man. Remember, you were really excited to talk about, like, hey, what's your favorite pet? Have you had a favorite pet? What is your favorite pet?
I think that could be saved for another show.
Really?
You think? I think that's too deep.
I think we can have like a little 5-minute conversation about animals. I mean, my cat is pretty awesome. He got in a fight today, but
Great kitty.
he was defending himself. He was defending the property. He defends the property here, and if another stray cat comes along, guess what? He's gonna mess him up. Don't mess with him.
Well, him and Lulu. Lulu's no joke.
Oh no, they get along just fine.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like they'll defend together.
Oh yeah, they
Lulu,
are.
Lulu's
It's
not
like
afraid to fight.
it's like what's her name, Brienne of Tarth,
Yeah.
and Jamie.
Yeah. Poor Tormund.
Yeah.
But he got over it pretty quick. I think Bandito was a really wonderful
Yeah.
pet.
Remember that time we had a birthday party and he just got a fresh haircut and cleaning and he had the camouflage bandana around his neck. He was feeling fresh, feeling happy.
Yep.
Good old Bandito.
That was our guy. I just remember Dad and we drove to the pound in his old GMC truck.
It was a 72 Chevy. It was one of the best trucks that you can buy.
And we brought him home in a box. I just remember. I should ask Dad.
No, he was a famous dog. He was on
the news.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. He was on the news.
Dad, how old was I? Dad, text in. How old was I when we went and got Bandit? I wasn't very old, but I remember it clear as day. Came home in a cardboard box. It was the coolest thing. Let's see if Dad's paying attention. Called out. But, another side note. Ireland is still loving us. We are so popular in Ireland.
I love Ireland. I love the Irish people. Hey, Ireland, this one's for you, lads and lasses. Hey, so check it out. I'm not going to lie. I think that is one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Yeah, definitely on my must-visit list.
Have you kissed the Blarney Stone there, lad? I mean, give me a break. The women are fucking redheaded and pale and beautiful, and the men, they're built like oxens. They're tough as dirt. They split wood like motherfuckers, and they live the old school traditional way. They're hardcore as they get. And that's the life that I really hope to lead on to living. I want to, I'd love to be self-sufficient. And I feel like Ireland really takes the train on that one, the self-sufficient lifestyle,
Well,
relying on yourself for everything,
I
you know.
think possibly you're being a bit stereotypical. I bet there's lots of all walks of life in Ireland.
Cities.
Yeah, it's Dublin.
But what's the city of Dublin look like?
I mean, it was built like I don't know hundreds of years ago, so it's definitely
Well,
old school.
I went to college and there were a couple girls from Ireland and they were very old school traditional. And this was in 2012, you know? Um, so they might have been living on the outskirts, but I really appreciated their ways and I really appreciated the things that they had to say. And I might actually still have her number in here.
Let's
Maybe we can call her up.
get her on the show.
Hold on. Let me
um,
look at my contacts.
so we got Bandit when you were a baby, so I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old, and you would have been 0 or 1 at the time. So that was mom texting in.
Got it.
So I was 5. She said. Um, but anyway, I mean, we have tons of viewers all across the United States and all across the world. I just find it very interesting seeing, people from different countries who are enjoying the podcast. If anybody has any
I got her
comments or
number. Let's give her a
suggestions,
call.
oh my gosh, you're doing all the talking.
It's
No,
353.
no, we're not giving out our number on air.
Oh, okay.
That's like illegal.
Oh.
You can't imagine that being. You're calling her.
I don't have a phone.
You can't make. Oh man, I have to call her.
Yeah. Let's
All
give
right.
her a call. Just tell her that it's Matt from Johnson and Wales, and we're doing a podcast. And
We just want to know
uh,
what life in
we,
Ireland's like.
exactly. And she'll be cool with it. Trust me. She's a really awesome girl.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to send. You're gonna have to write it down in the chat
I can do
box,
that.
and I will have to.
It's a really long number. Hold on.
Yeah, because it's like international. This is gonna show up on my phone bill.
No, I don't think it will. Um, Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do a chat here.
You know how I send you the Zencast link?
No, I'm just saying I'm in the video thing. I got to minus out of the video. Go to this. Okay, doing this.
I wonder if I
Doing
can call
this.
on Google Voice. I can make a call.
Oh, shit. I wish there was an easier way. Hey, give me a minute. I'm going to have Dad text it to you.
All right, you really got to get better at this. It's almost embarrassing.
Uh-oh. It's all right. You live. Hey, Dad.
So we are gonna live call someone from Ireland, and I'm gonna pretend to be Matt, and we'll see how it goes. For anybody listening, this is why Matthew needs a cell phone with data, so you can call people and be a responsible adult. And just harking back to stress, lots of stressors in everybody's life. And then also, you don't know what everybody's going through. So, you don't have to give that guy behind the counter at the coffee shop a hard time for forgetting your soy foam on your latte. Just everybody's going through something. So just try to be cool to everybody. Don't get taken advantage of, obviously.
Nice.
But find a nice balance. All right. Oh, wow. Find a nice balance. I'm going to need Matt to come back. So I'm going to make a call. And we'll see how this goes. I don't even know if this is a real number. Seems like too many numbers.
Did you get it?
Yeah, but I think this is too many numbers.
No, it's not. It's not. That's it. I've already texted her and shit.
We could not complete your call. Please try again.
Aww. Try without the last two digits. The 5-1.
Okay.
We could not.
You know what? Maybe I'll put the 1 in front of it.
I would, yeah.
Oh, this could work.
We could not complete your call. Please try again.
No. But we will. Let's try to lock her down for next week.
Okay.
One more attempt.
We could not.
Nope. Sorry, Ireland.
Sorry, we tried to get a hold of Miss Murphy. She's a chef out in Dublin. She's a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, the phone number just won't go through. That's what happens when you live 3,000 miles away from somebody. Huh?
We'll try to get her on the line for next week. Or
Yeah, we're here for you, Ireland. Ireland rocks.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have a lot of downloads in the United States as well, so definitely our American.
California, Virginia. Wow, look at that.
A lot of our listeners there, so we appreciate all of our listeners. You know what? I do have one qualm. I still have not got sent a hat. I'm still rocking the Your Ad Here hat. I'm just waiting for that one that comes in our email that says, "Hey, Bri, we got a hat for you, and I will wear it and promote it on our show." And I'm just waiting for the day. That's going to be an exciting day.
Oh, yeah.
So I already said my piece upon exiting. So do you want to say your farewell to our listeners?
Yes, fellow listeners, you've made it another week listening to yours truly, Brian Matt. We're here for you no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance. We will help you out, help you get through whatever you need to get through. We will help you push and keep that determined mindset along with the comfort of feeling like you're not alone. My golf game is strong right now. I'm going to keep working on that. And Brian, do you want to go golfing this week?
If I could set aside some time, I would love to.
Just tell me when you're free, and I can get you out on the private course that I'm working at now. And we can go out with Dad and have a good time.
All right, yeah, we'll schedule something after.
I think that sounds great. All right. Well, to all the listeners out there who are jealous of our golf date that we just made, you all have a wonderful week, and we look forward to talking to you next week. It might be Tuesday. It's definitely Tuesday. We have a special guest, Mark, coming on. This is going to be his second appearance.
Well, web developer in the East Coast.
That's right. He's going to be joining us for the second time. So he's very knowledgeable. He's very smart. He's very great at talking, and I think that he will ease your ears with the comfort and love that you need to hear on this tough, rainy week in May.
He does have a really good voice.
So. Very good voice. So everybody have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you as soon as we get back next